What is going on, Locks Mob, and welcome back to the Thursday edition of the Locks DFS NHL Breakdown. I'm your host, Narang, and we will be breaking down the 7-game main slate on tap on DraftKings today. Before we do that, if you want to follow me on Twitter real quick, @RayleighAddy, this is where you can go ahead and tweet at me any questions you may have or just keep up to date with my thoughts as they progress throughout the day and up until lock. But with that being said, let's get right into it. So since it is a 7-game slate, I'm going to go ahead and just break it down positionally, give you a few of my favorite plays at each position. I'm going to try and keep this video a little bit shorter than I usually do, just talk about a few plays and then leave the rest for our members. But yeah, let's get right into it. So I think if you're coming to pay up, Bergeron is probably my favorite option. We've seen a lot of Calgary games be high scoring in the past few weeks. I've just been mashing the over in a few of these games because it's like Calgary plays a very fantasy-friendly style of hockey. They're bottom 10 in the league in expected goals against, but they're top 10 in the league in expected goals for against. And this Boston one line at home is probably the best line in hockey. So if you're paying up, I like Bergeron. The big news for me is that Eichel is out. Eichel being out gives a huge boost to Alexander Barkov, in my opinion. He's one of the few guys that you can count on to skate like 25 minutes a night, and getting that at a forward position, that's very like McDavid-esque. And so getting this kind of minute load, even though he's on the road, which isn't ideal, just the minute load is more than ideal and more than worth that price. And then the last guy we could talk about is one of these Islanders centers. I'm going to go with Brock Nelson for my money. He's got an I-Corsi for of around 11, which is about 6th on the Islanders. It's not bad. He shoots the puck a decent amount. And he's skating on this, I can show you guys. He's skating on this first line with Josh Ho-Sang and Anders Lee, which are two guys I really like stacking all together on this slate. Moving on to winger, if you're paying up, I think it's going to come down between Pasternak and Ovechkin. For my money, I think I'm actually leaning Pasternak in a better matchup at home as opposed to a matchup versus a St. Louis team that's been pretty good defensively over the past quite a few seasons. Obviously, Ovechkin can still break the slate, but Pasternak, who shoots at a similar rate, and he's just stepping into a great home matchup. I just think I'll side with him for 100 less if I'm paying up. But I think my favorite point per dollar option, probably Brendan Gallagher here. Montreal's team total opened at 3.3. It's now jumped to 3.5. Brendan Gallagher actually leads the entire NHL in I-Corsi 4 per 60, which means he puts as many pucks towards the net as any other player in the league. I think it's over 23.5 or something. So one of the most fantasy-friendly players you can get as far as dependent shot volume. And getting him at 5,500 is an absolute steal. And then one guy who I had to definitely talk about, Josh Ho-Sang. He's sitting all the way down here at like some crazy 2,800 he's sitting at 2,800. But if you saw what I showed you earlier, he's skating on that first line and he's been promoted to a first-team power play role. Getting him at 2,800 versus a Chicago Blackhawks team that is last in the league, if you can see right here, by expected goals against per 60. I mean, they're due to give up a lot of goals all season. The Islanders are projected for a very healthy 3.4 team total. And I think getting exposure to Ho-Sang, who, as we've talked about on this video, is he was one of the highest rate shooters in the AHL, a really talented player. We've just been waiting on him to be called up, and now he's up and he's eating. So I love Ho-Sang at 2.8K. And then moving on to defense, I think if you want to pay up, Giordano and Krug are both pretty safe options. But for my dollar, I'm going to go with Shea Weber as my high price option. He's skating a tremendous amount of minutes. He's got 27-minute upside, or 27-minute almost like average. But he's skating at least like 25 minutes a game. Gives you a great shot on goal, block shot upside. He shoots the puck a ton. He's got an I-Corsi 4 per 60 over 15. And again, he's stepping into an awesome matchup versus a Vancouver team on a back-to-back. They're tired. And like I talked about, Montreal's projected for 3.5 goals, and that's only going up. I mean, they've risen from minus 145 on the money line to minus 181. So there's a lot of sharp and public money coming in on them. And then if you want to pay down at defense, there's a few options. One that I find pretty interesting is, I actually don't even know how to say his name, Devin Taves. I'm assuming he's pronounced like Jonathan Taves. He's 2.5K. He's skating around 20 minutes a night for the Islanders. He's in a limited sample size. He's actually got the second highest iCorsi 4 per 60 on the Islanders at around 15. And he's getting some second-team power play time. So, he's skating with Beauvillier, Pulak on that second-team power play. So I do think he's a pretty interesting value option at 2.5K. Obviously, I'm going to keep looking to see if more sort of opens up as the day goes on. And if you're a Locks DFS member, you will obviously have full access to that. So, that's really it. If you aren't a member yet, go ahead and sign up at locksdfs.com. Go ahead and get yourself a pass. It's going to be super profitable for you throughout the season. Taylor's been crushing basketball. I've been crushing hockey. The sports bets are doing well, and Christian's gonna crush all his sports. So definitely a good time to join Locks. And I appreciate you guys finding your way back to this video. And until next time, I will see you tomorrow, and let's win some money tonight. Peace.